The life and legacy of Kwame Nkrumah, the visionary of African unity. There are names that echo through the pages of history, and among them is Kwame Nkrumah, one of Africa's greatest leaders. A man who lit the torch of freedom, not just for his people but for an entire continent. The early years. NKROFUL Village, 1910s. Kwame Nkrumah was born on September 21, 1909, in the small village of NKROFUL in the Gold Coast, now Ghana. His parents were farmers, and though his early life was humble, it was rich with the traditions and culture of his people. School life. Young Kwame, at a desk. Kwame excelled in school and soon gained admission to the Achimota School in Accra, where he developed a love for education and a sense of purpose that would drive him for the rest of his life. The journey abroad. In a ship, Kwame departing for the USA. In 1935, with a scholarship and unwavering determination, Nkrumah left for the United States. He enrolled at Lincoln University, later earning a degree in sociology and theology, followed by a master's in philosophy at the University of Pennsylvania. Life in the USA. Kwame reading books on socialism and Pan-Africanism. Working odd jobs to pay for school. Speaking to small groups about African independence. In the United States, Nkrumah immersed himself in the teachings of Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, and other leaders of the Pan-African movement. He began to dream of a free Africa, united against colonial powers. The return to Africa. Hall, Manchester, Pan-African Congress. Nkrumah. Africa must unite. The time has come to cast off the chains of colonialism and reclaim our destiny. In 1945, Nkrumah participated in the Pan-African Congress in Manchester, where he emerged as a leading voice for African liberation. His speeches inspired hope among the oppressed and fear among colonial powers. Kwame's return. Crowds gathered to welcome Nkrumah home. He waves visibly. Kwame returned to the Gold Coast in 1947, joining the United Gold Coast Convention to demand self-rule. But his radical ideas and impatience with gradual change soon set him apart from other leaders. Prison cell. Kwame writes a letter. Kwame, imprisoned for leading protests, writes furiously. After leading a series of strikes and protests, Nkrumah was jailed in 1950. Yet even behind bars, his influence grew. The people rallied behind his vision for independence. The road to independence. Accra, 1951 elections. In 1951, Nkrumah's party won a landslide victory, making him the leader of government business. It was a first step toward achieving full independence. Independence Day celebration, March 6, 1957. Nkrumah. Ghana, our beloved country, is free forever. But let us remember, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa. On March 6, 1957, Ghana became the first sub-Saharan African country to gain independence from colonial rule. Nkrumah's dream had become a reality, but his ambitions extended far beyond Ghana's borders. The vision of Pan-Africanism. Conference room, Organization of African Unity. Nkrumah. We must unite in purpose and action. A divided Africa will always be vulnerable. Together, we can build a new dawn for our people. As president of Ghana, Nkrumah championed Pan-Africanism, helping to establish the Organization of African Unity in 1963. He envisioned a united Africa with shared resources and a single government. Infrastructure projects. Construction of the Akosombo Dam. Schools, hospitals, and industrial factories being built. Domestically, Nkrumah launched ambitious projects to modernize Ghana, including the Akosombo Dam, which provided hydroelectric power and free education for all children. The fall from power. Presidential Palace. Kwame looks concerned. But Nkrumah's single-minded pursuit of his vision came at a cost. Economic mismanagement and dissent among his people began to weaken his position. Critics accused him of becoming authoritarian. Military coup, February 24, 1966. While on a peace mission to North Vietnam in 1966, Nkrumah's government was overthrown in a military coup. Exiled to Guinea, he lived the rest of his life as a guest of President Sekou Touré.